ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां व्यासशंकरमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। So we are looking at the Sri Suktam. In the previous class we finished up to mantra number 2. So we'll just repeat that mantra again. Om Hiranyavarnam Harinim Suvarna Rajatasrajam Chandram Hiranmayim Lakshmim Jata Vedo Maavaha Tamaavaha Jata Vedo Lakshmi Manapagamini Yasyam Hiranyam Bindeyam Gamashvam Purushanaham. So up to this we saw last class. Now from 3 and 4 we'll chant and then we'll go through the meaning of each of them. Ashvapurvam Ashvapurvam Hratamadhyam Ashvapurvam Hratamadhyam Astinada Prabodhinim Shriyam Devi Muhafhaye Shriyam Devi Muhafhaye Shrima Devi Jushatam Shrima Devi Jushatam Ashvapurvam Ratamadhyam Hastinada Prabodhinim Shriyam Devi Muhafhaye Shrima Devi Jushatam Kam Sosmitam Hiranya Prakara Madram Hiranya Karamadram Kam Sosmitam Hiranya Prakaramadram Jwalantim Truptam Tarpayantim Kam Sosmitam Hiranya Prakaramadram Jwalantim Truptam Tarpayantim Padme Stitham Padmavarnam Padme Stitham Padmavarnam Tamiho Bhavaye Shriyam Ashvapurvam Hratamadhyam Astinada Prabodhinim Shriyam Devi Muhafhaye Shrima Devi Jushatam Kam Sosmitam Hiranya Prakaramadram Jwalantim Truptam Tarpayantim Padme Stitham Padmavarnam Tamiho Bhavaye Shriyam. So, as I told you, this Sri Suktam is a praise for Goddess Lakshmi. And it is also, it is a Saguna Brahma Upasanam, or an Upasanam where there is a worship or there is a we are imagining the Lakshmi to be in a particular form. So we saw before Hiranyavarnam, Harinim, Suvarna, Rajataswajam. So all of them are Sagunam. They all indicate a particular attribute. Whereas in Shastram, what we say is from Sagunam, only you can go to Nirgunam. You can never go to Nirgunam Brahma directly. So one has to always start with Sagunam, which is worshipping the Bhagavan with attributes. It can be any Bhagavan, any Murti, any idol, any image, any photo, it doesn't matter. So you have to start somewhere. So it is absolutely perfectly okay for everyone to start with that. So here also this particular Suktam, this is Sukta Sangraha, it is all about Saguna Brahma Upasana. There is Nirguna Brahmasanam is not talked about because it is purely to express gratitude and praise for the Bhagavan for what has been given. So here also, the first one, you must take the first word as Rathamadhyam. So Ashwapurvam, when I say here, the technical, the real meaning is Ashwam Purvam. That is, Ashwam means horse and Purvam means before. That means when the goddess Lakshmi goes, there is horses going before. This is the technical meaning of the literal meaning of the word Ashwapurvam. But it is not to be taken in that manner according to what I feel or according to what is being taught by us. It means Ashuhu Vyaptaha. So Ashuhu Vyaptaha means that which is pervaded. So Ashuhu Vyaptaha is Ashwaha. Ashuhu Vyaptam means pervading. So you've got Tamil people here, so I can talk also Tamil. So Vyaptam means Uduru Paidal, Udurvi Paidal. That means pervading. So Ashuhu means senses. So senses, sensory powers, Vyaptam, the one who is pervaded entirely in all our senses and sensory powers, called Ashuhu. So Ashwapurvam. So always the senses go first. Right? The sensory powers always go first, then information is returned back to the sensory powers back to us. Right? Then only we are able to analyze. So Ashwapurvam meaning Ashuhu Vyaptaha iti Ashuhu. Okay, the second meaning, literal meaning can take is there are horses which are going before. So it doesn't gel with the actual meaning here. Then Rathamadhyam. So here the scenario is Lakshmi is being portrayed as the one which is in the middle, and it is she is being preceded by all the horses, and then the Rathamadhyam. So Ratham, when I say here, it means the chariot, and Madhye means the chariot is in the middle. I mean Lakshmi is seated in the middle, the chariot, and it is preceded by the horses. As I told you before, Ashuhu Vyaptamiti Ashwaha. I told you, right? So Ashuhu means that which is all the sensory powers, the sensory organs, is that which is pervaded by this Shakti, this Lakshmi, is called Ashwaha. Now, Ratham Madhyam. See, Ratham, when I say here, it means the physical body. So Ratham is supposed to be the physical body which is centered. So Ratham Madhya means the body is centered, and the center of the body, all these things are happening. So Ratamadhyam means Sharidasya Srinivasasya Sarveshwarasya. That is what you should take it. Ratamadhyam means what? You must take it as Sharirasya Srinivasya Sarveshwarasya. You can also write along with that in Sanskrit or Tamil, whatever it is there. I'll give you in Sanskrit first, and then I'll explain the meaning in English. So, Ratamadhya means Ratam is equal to Shariram, Srinivasa Nilayam, Sarveshwarasya. Mean there, where in the Ratham, in the center, it is Bhagavan being residing, correct? As Srinivasaha. So Nivasam means staying, and Shrihi means the goddess. So the goddess Lakshmi who is staying in the Vasasthalam is Srinivasaha. Then Sarveshwarasya, that's the Sarva Ishwaraha, when I told you, is what Ashuhu Vyaptamiti Ashuhu, correct? So Sarva Ishwaraha means what? That which is pervaded by all Ishwara. Correct? So it's called Sarveshwarasya. So in all the physical bodies which we have, there is one essence called Ishvara present in every living and non-living being. So Sarveshwarasya Srinivasasya Sharirasya Ashuhu Vyaptaha iti Shrihi. Got it? Then Ratamadhyam, another meaning, it is coming from the Kathopanishad. Atmanam Ratinam Vidhi Shariram Ratamevacha. That means Atmanam means what? Atma is the one which is residing in the Shariram. So conscious principle, awareness or unarvu is the one which is the principle or that which is pervading the entire physical body. So Atmanam Ratinam Vidhi means may you know, Shariram Ratamevacha. So you should know in this manner. So Ratamadhyam. See, if you got any questions, you ask in the middle. Don't have to wait till the end. If you think a particular word is not clear to you, because some people are writing in Tamil, some people are writing in English, some in Sanskrit. So I don't know who is following what. But if you got any doubt, you can.
Sir, you have to explain it little more elaborated, because it's totally confusing.
Okay, so which is confusing to you, Ratamadhyam, or is it?
This Ashwapurvam and Ratamadhyam, both I'm not able to grasp.
Okay. Okay, Ashvam means, you know what it is, right? Ashvam means horse, right? Purvam means before. So there are two meanings given here in the, you can take it. One thing is that the Mahalakshmi is going in a procession, or the Mahalakshmi is viewed as the one who is surrounded by all these people. That means horse is first to go, correct? Horse along with this Ashwapurvam, all the horses are going in the front. Okay. Now, as I told you, the horse is just an example of Saguna Brahma. What it tells you should take the other meaning is Ashuhu Vyaptamiti Ashwaha. Ashuhu means what? The sensory powers within us. That is the power of seeing, power of touch, power of smell, power of taste, all of them. So they are the one which is going in the front. So they always operate in the front. That means they reach out to objects in the front. And then by reaching out the objects, they send a message back to the physical body, the mind complex, and it is processed. Correct. So that is what it should be taken as here. So Ashwapurvam means two definitions. Little definition. Ajay, I'm in class. I'll call you back later, 9 o'clock. I'll call you back 8:30. Okay. I'll call you back later. Okay. Sorry, all these people calling me. Okay. So Ashwapurva means the horses are going before. And the second meaning is the horses are being compared here to the sensory powers, Ashuhu. Okay. You got it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, I'm giving you two meanings. See, because I'm a Vedanti, so I talk Vedanta only. So even though I'm giving you two definitions, the literal Bhashyaka, the people who teach this, they teach in this manner. That is Saguna Brahma Upasanam. But the
Can you call it as direct meaning and indirect meaning?
Correct. You can have direct meaning, indirect meaning. Correct. So direct meaning is this Ashwapurvam, that is what it is, horse. But I'm giving you two different definitions. Which means the Ashuhu Vyaptam. Vyaptam means pervading. So this Lakshmi is pervading our entire sensory perceptions, all of the sensory powers. So that is the second definition. Okay. Then the second one is Ratamadhyam. See, Radham means chariot. Correct. So following the horses, the chariot is there going along. So so you should visualize how it is. There's a procession going along. There is a chariot in the middle, Ratamadhyam, and there's horses in the front. Okay. And Mahalakshmi is sitting in the chariot. Okay. This is what it is. Okay. So Ratamadhyam, when you say, it means the chariot is there and it is centered. It is the center. But the definition of Ratamadhyam, according to second definition, which is the other meaning I gave you, is Sharirasya, that is within the Shariram, Srinivasaha is residing. Okay. And he is of the nature of Sarveshwaraha. So this is called Ratamadhyam. So Ratam means the physical body here. In the Kathopanishad, Ratam is compared to the physical body. That means the chariot has to be there for someone to ride. Correct. So without the chariot being there, you cannot go anywhere. So the body is required for you to go from place to place. Correct. So without having legs, without having arms, you cannot do any work. So the chariot is referred as the central, Ratamadhyam. Okay. And he quotes from an Upanishad saying, Atmanam Ratinam Viddhi Shariram Ratamevacha. It means what? The Atma or the consciousness which is there is the one principle behind the Radham or the physical body. So the conscious principle is there. So Sri Lakshmi or Mahalakshmi is the one who is a conscious principle who is sitting behind the chariot. Not means sitting, not behind. Don't take it behind. It means what? The chariot is going along, the essence of the chariot, the power of the chariot, everything belongs to Lakshmi. That is the visual concept. Okay. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Sarvesvarasya, Sarirasya, Srinivasasya, Sarvesvarasya.
So if you want another definition, I'll give you Saundarya, Lavanya, Saundaryaha, Lavanyaha, Panchashaktim, Divyam, Vigrahasya. You can add this. I'll give you this also. So Saundarya means what? Beautiful. Saundaryaha means very beautiful, very attractive. Right. Then Panchashakti Mayam. So 5 Shaktis are there, correct? Panchashaktis. Divyam means very celestial. Divyam. Right. And Vigrahasya. So Vigraha means what? It's like, so it talks about idol here. So Divyam Vigrahasya, Saundaryasya, Ishwarasya, Srinivasya, Sharirasya, iti Ratamadhyam is what is talked about here. Okay. So Ratamadhyam, when I say here, it means what? It means the physical body is compared here as the one who is residing, indweller, residing in the physical body is of the nature of Srinivasasya, Sarveshwarasya. Panchashakti Mayadi Divyam. So all this is talked about here. Okay. Got it, Radhaji?
Yes, Sankarji.
Okay. See, the meaning of Srinivasaha is what Srinivasaha means, the where Lakshmi is residing called Srinivasaha. So when you say Srinivasa Govinda, only thing about Govindaha, Srinivasa, there are names. There's only, it actually indicates only one person. One person having many names. So it's called Srinivasa, it's called Govinda, it's called Mukunda, it's called Hari, Krishna, Murari, all are names. But they are not good, they are not different people. They are only one person which is referred by many names. That is why here also, Ratamadhyam, when you say here, it talks about what? This physical body is only one, in that the person who is residing here is of the nature of Srinivasasya, Sarveshwarasya, Saundarya, Panchashakti, Divyam, Vigrahasya, Atmanam, Rathinam, Viddhi, Shariram, Ratamevacha. Okay. So this is what is said in the Shruti. This Katha Upanishad talks about the chariot principle. That is, it compares the human body to be a chariot. And the Atma is supposed to be the one which is the one controlling, or is supposed to be the conscious principle driving this. Right. So sensory powers are the one which is controlling the horses. Right. And the mind is the one which is controlling the sensory powers. So if you look at the whole example of chariot, the horses are going in the front, correct? Horses are required in the front. Then you got the Kadivalam.
So can you call it the horses as senses?
No, the horses are, you can call it as you can call senses actually, you can call that. Sensory powers are the one which is the Panchashakti which is there. Okay. Pancha Prana you can call, Panchashakti you can call them. Then you got a road, means the destination or the path where it is going. So the path has to be known, the horses has to be of the correct caliber. Then the sensory powers also has to be correct. The mind has to be, the Sarathi should be there with right mind also, correct? And the Sarathi should also be infused with consciousness, with Atma being the principle. All of them are required, otherwise if one of them doesn't work, the chariot won't go, or it will go in the wrong direction. Right? So that is what is said here indirectly. That particular word I told you, Atmanam Ratinam Viddhi Shariram Ratamevacha. It is from the Shruti. One of the Upanishads quotes this. So we'll come to that when we talk about the Upanishad. At the moment you just write like this. Ratamadhyam is the physical body which is in which Srinivasaha is residing, Sarveshwaraha is residing, is of the nature of Panchashakti Divyam. You can write like this. Okay. The literal meaning or direct meaning is the chariot is in the middle. It doesn't make sense. But that is what is the direct meaning of it. So Ashwapurvam Radamadhyam. Okay. Next. Hastinada Prabodhinim. So Hastam means Gajendraha or elephant. So Radha Gaja Turaha. Right. So Radha Gaja Turam, right? We have all this Yanai Pade, Kal Pade, Kudarai Pade. We have. So here Hastinada Prabodhini means what? The sound of the elephants. So the elephants which are coming behind are making noise, or the sound is there. So Hastinada Prabodhini. It talks about here Gajendra Ashritaha Nadhe param krupam ambudhe sarveshradapi pratama prabodhana shalim. So it doesn't give much explanation about Hastinada Prabodhini. Okay, so we should take it as only that meaning. So it says Hastinada Prabodhini. So it means the Gajendraha is also part of that. It doesn't give the other meaning in terms of the Bhashyam here. So we'll not look at it at the moment. Then next one is Shriyam. So Shriyam means auspiciousness or wealth or happiness. So Shriyam, let's say here. Or that which is belonging to Shrihi. So Shrihi means all types of wealth. In fact, we have a prayer. Mahyam Shriyam Medham Pragyancha Prayacha Swaha. So Om Namo Bhagavate Dakshinamurtaye Mahyam Shriyam Medham Pragyancha Prayacha Swaha. It means what? You pray to the Dakshinamurti that Mahyam for me. Shriyam means all wealth. Shriyam doesn't include only gold ornaments and property, etc. Shriyam includes all wealth. That is, good health, good mind, good property, good wife, good children, good relatives, good surrounding, good government. All of them is required for us to live comfortably. So when you ask for Shriyam, you're asking for all types of wealth. So you're not asking for a specific type of wealth. So here also the word Shriyam indicates the wealth, all types of wealth, or the Bhagavan or the Sri Lakshmi, who is endowed with all types of wealth, is called Shriyam. And how is she called? Devi. So she's called Devihi. So Jagasrishtakarini or Devi means what? Jagasrishtikarini. So Devi is of the nature of Divyam or Jagasrishtikarini, because Devi represents power and power represents creation. So the Maya Shakti, Icha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti, all the Shaktis are present in the power, in this Devi. So this Devi, who is of the nature of auspiciousness, is of the nature of full of wealth, abundance. For such a Sri Devi, Upafhaye. So Upafhaye means what? I am inviting, or I am calling her, or I am worshipping her. Anena mantrena mama samipam prapayami. Anena mantrena mama samipam prapayami. It means what? Anena mantrena means what? By different mantras. So for Devi itself, there are different mantras. You don't need to have only Sri Suktam. You have Lalita Sahasranam, you've got Saudara Lahari, you've got so many things are there. So you can invoke her in any form, using any mantras. So Anena Mantrena Mama Samipam means what? I am inviting her close to me. So Upafhaye, it means I am inviting the Sri Devi very close to me. Sri Ma, correct. So Sri Ma means what? Sri He, as I told you, always indicates this wealth, correct? And Ma indicates what? The mother. So, hey mother, who is the possessor of all types of wealth, who is present in me as the Atma, and the Atma is resident member of the physical body, which is the Ratha Madhyam, correct? And Ashwapurvam, with the sensory powers which are there in the front. I am invoking you in me. This is the meaning. Okay. So Shrima Devi Jushatam. So Jushatam, when you say, it means what? I am happy, or you please invoke, come invoke in me and make me happy. So Jushatam. Or Prita Bhuya, Priti Bhuyat Jushatam. Iti. So Jushatam means you come invoke in me your presence, your grace, and make me happy. You got the meaning, right?
Yes.
You got the meaning, Radhaji? So Ashwapurvam Kradamadhyam Astidada Prabodini Shriyam Devi Muhafhaye Shrima Devi Jushatam. So we've seen Ashwapurvam Arthamadhyam Astinada Prabodhinim Ishwarikum, Shriyam Devi Muhafhaye Shrima Devi Jushatam. Next. Kam Sosmitham Hiranya Prakara Madhram Kam Sosmitham Hiranya Prakara Madhram Jwalantim Truptam Tarpayantim Kam Sosmitham Hiranya Prakara Madhram Jwalantim Truptam Tarpayantim. So Kamaha or Kam means here Sukha Swarupam. You can write like this. Kam means Sukha Swarupam, or the one who is the nature of Sukham. It's called Kam. Then Sahasmitam means that Lakshmi who is of the nature of Sukha Swarupam is also very, very smiling in nature. That means because whenever you are happy, see, when a person is very happy, there is a smile which comes into the person. If you are very, unhappy, normally your face looks very frowned. So the Sri Lakshmi here is always of the nature of happiness. And being of the nature of happiness, she is always smiling. There is never a time when you will find Sri Lakshmi being very frowning or a crowd. Always smiling person. So Smitam. Then Hiranya Prakaram. So Hiranya Prakaram, when you say here, see Prakaram, when you say here, it means some structure. So Prakaram, when you say here, there's some arrangement. And Hiranyam means gold. Just trying to see what else is given for this meaning here. See that Hiranyam is given here as what? Nana Ratnamayam. See, Nana Ratnamayam means, Ratnam means ornaments. Nana Vidha means different types of Ratnam, Ratnamayam, Suvarnamayam, Prakara, Parivrutam, Divya Mandalaha. means this Lakshmi is actually residing in a place which is surrounded by all types of ornaments. So she is actually being talked about as the one who is resident of Devalokaha. So she is from Deva. She is from Devaloka. She is not from this ordinary Manushya Loka. So in that Loka where she is residing, it is always surrounded by all sorts of wealth. Nana Ratna Suvarnamayam Prakaram iti Prakaraha. That is the meaning of it. Then Adram, next word. So Adram, when you say here, compassion, the person who is of the nature of compassionate person, compassion. Karuna Sagaraha. Daya Hridayam. Adram Daya Hridayam Karuna Sagaraha. You can say like this. So calm denotes happiness. Correct. Anandamayam. Sukha Swarupam. Smitam denotes what? The smile which is brought about by a person being happy. So the calm and smitam goes together. So it doesn't go. So you cannot be smiling unless you are happy. So they do go together. Then Hiranyam Prakaram. Prakaram. So Hiranyam means the gold, or it is actually Nana Vida Abharanam or Ratnamayam, Suvarnamayam, Prakaram. So the one which is surrounded by all types of ornaments, because Hiranyam means gold. Gold means what? That is precious. So all types of wealth. So she is surrounded by, she is living or the holder of all types of wealth. You can say like this. So Prakaram means the structure in which she is the repository of all sorts of wealth. You can say like this. That's the correct word. So the repository or the holder of all types of wealth is called Hiranya Prakaram. Then Adram. Adram means the one which is of the nature of compassion or Karuna Sagaraha. Adram. Then Jwalantim. See, Jwalantim means what? Not Jwalaha, means not fire. Jwalantim means of the nature of shining. Swatejasa, you can say. Swatejasa means what? Self-illumined. So there is no other light required or no other light required for Lakshmi to be more radiant, because radiance is the Swarupam of Mahalakshmi. And what it says here is Jwalantim iti Swatejasa Sarva Lokan Bhasayantim. Swatejasim, due to this Lakshmi being self-radiant, she is able to illumine all the lokas. Sarva Lokana Bhasayantim. So her radiance or brilliance is seen in all the lokas. Right? See, in the Devi Mahatmyam, there's a word. Chitirupena ya kritsnam yetat vyaptam sthita jagat namastasmai namastasyai namo namaha. So Chitirupena ya kritsnam. Chitihi means what? Consciousness. So this Lakshmi there also is worshipped as Chitirupena ya kritsnam. Kritsnam means what? This Jwalantim. Kritsnaha means this illumining. So Kritsnam Chitirupena ya Krishnam Etat Vyaptam Siddha Jagat. So Jagat means what? The entire universe, not only is Loka. All the Lokas are being illumined by this Lakshmi or this Devi is mentioned in Devi Mahatmyam. Right? Same thing is said here also. So Jwalantim means of the nature of radiance. Swatejasam Sarvalokanam Bhasayantim. Then next one is truptam. See, truptam means what? The one who is the giver of happiness. Truptihi. So Anandaha, giver of Anandaha is called Truptihi, Truptam. So satisfied. So Truptam. Then Tarpayantim. See, Tarpayantim also relates to Truptam only. There's no separate word. Tarpayantim, Truptam is both are connected. That means the one who is filled with happiness is called Truptam. The one who is giver of happiness is called Tarpayantim. So only when a person is filled with happiness, only such a person can give happiness to another person. See, if a person is always filled with sorrow, always filled with dukkam, how can you give happiness to somebody? If a person doesn't have any money with you, or if the person there, how can you give to somebody else? So a person has to be first fully satisfied. He or she has to be, first of all, having enough wealth in terms of knowledge, in terms of everything else, or to give somebody anything. If the person itself is of the nature of, alpagyanaha, he cannot give any jnanam to anybody. But here Lakshmi is talked about as what here? She talks about as Adram, Jwalantim, Triptam, Tarpayantim. So the adjective given for is what is calm, the one who is of the nature of happiness. Smitam, always smiling. Hiranyam Prakaram Adram. Hiranya Prakaram Adram, Jwalantim, Triptam, Tarpayanti. So all these are adjectives for the Mahalakshmi who is of the nature of this. You got it so far?
So Triptam Tarpayanti means it's a dual word. It was each are connected.
Yeah, Trupta means the one who is filled with happiness. Okay. Trupta means the one who is filled with happiness or whose happiness is the swarupam of one's own self. Okay. Then Tarpayanti means because the person is filled with happiness, he or she can give happiness to other people. That means the people around him or her are also happy because of satsangaha. Got it?
Nothing to do with this Tarpanam and Tarpayanti.
No. No. Tarpayantim, see, that means Dabbaha is different. Tarpayantim here means the person who is the giver of happiness. And Triptam means the possessor of happiness. Got it? So the possessor of happiness is the only person who can give happiness. If you don't have the happiness quality in you, how can you give happiness to anybody? You got it? So Triptam means Maha Anandena Swayam Triptam means what? The one who is of the nature of Anandaha, and Swayam Triptam means what? Self happiness is the Swarupam of one's own self. So Swayam Triptam means happiness is the Swarupam of one's own self. So only when the person is full, he can give something to anybody else. If the person is half, you cannot give. So you have to be fully Anandaha, Ananda Swarupaha. That's what it says here. So far you got it, meaning everyone?
Yes.
You can raise your hand or you can just put a hand up if you don't know. Okay. Next we'll go to Padme Stitham, Padme Stitham, Padmavarnam, Padme Stitham, Padmavarnam, Tamiho Baf Ayeshriyam, Padme Stitham, Padmavarnam, Tamiho Baf Ayeshriyam. Okay. So Padme Stitham. Next word. See, Padmaha means lotus. Tamarai. Stitaha means the one who is seated. Stitaha. The one who is seated on a lotus is called Padme Sitam. Then Padmavarnam. So Padmavarnam means the Varnam talks about the color. Okay. So Padma means the lotus color or the color lotus. Okay. Padmavarnam. So Padme Sitam, Padmavarnam, Tam Shriyam. So again the Shriyam comes. So Tam means what? That. So that Shriyam or that Lakshmi who is seated on the lotus and who is of the nature of the color of lotus, Padmavarnam, Padme Sitam, Tam Shriyam, Iha. Right? Here. Padme Sitam, Padmavarnam, Tam Iha. Sitami ho Baheshriyam. You have to break it into Tam Iha Upafhaye Shriyam. See the previous word Upafhaye means what? I invite or I invoke. I give it meaning, right? So Muhafhaye. Same here. Tam Iha Muhafhaye. Who Shriyam. So you are inviting, you are asking that Lakshmi to come. Again, invoke in you. What type of Lakshmi are you talking about again? The one who is sitting on the lotus pedestal, who is of the color of lotus, who is of the nature of Shriyam. For that person, I am invoking to come to me. Right? Padme Stitham means the one who is residing in the lotus. தாமரையில் வீற்றிருப்பவள் அப்படி சொல்லலாம். ஓகே, தாமரையில் வீற்றிருப்பவள். பத்மவர்ணாம் வர்ணம், பத்மவர்ணாம் தாமரை வர்ணம் உடையவள் சொல்லலாம். தாம் அந்த ஸ்ரீதேவி, அந்த லக்ஷ்மியை, இஹ இங்கு, உபப்ஹயே நான் வரவழைக்கிறேன், நான் அழைக்கிறேன். I'm inviting. You can say like this. Okay. See, all Tamil people are here. I can talk Tamil also. So Padme Sitam, Padmavarnam, Tam Iha Ubhafhaye Shriyam. So the word Tam Ihobhafhaye Shriyam, you have to break into Tam Iha Ubhafhaye Shriyam. So Shriyam means the Shri or the possessor of the Shri is of the nature, is sitting on the lotus pedestal of the nature of lotus color, and such a person I'm inviting her or invoking her close to me. Tam Iha Upafhaye. Got that? Kam sosmitham hiranya prakara madhram jwalanti triptam tarpayanti Padme Stitham Padmavarnam Tamiho Bhafhaye Shriyam. Next. Have you got any questions in this before I go next one? Anyone has got any questions? Understood? Okay. No questions means understood, not understood. Chandram Prabhasam, Chandram Prabhasam, Yashasam, Jwalanti, Chandram Prabhasam, Yashasa, Jwalanti, Shriyam Loke, Shriyam Loke, Chandram Prabhasam, Yashasa, Jwalanti, Shriyam Loke, Devajustamudharam, Devajustamudharam, Chandram Prabhasam, Yashasa, Jwalanti, Shriyam Loke, Devajustamudharam, Tam Padmini, Tam Padmini, Sharanamaham, Sharanamaham, Tam Padmini, Sharanamaham, Prapadhye, Sharanamaham, Prapadhye, Alakshmi me, Alakshmi me, Nashyatam, Tvam Vrine, Nashyatam, Tvam Vrine. See that word here, Prapadye, not Lakshmi. It is Prapadye Alakshmi. So when you chant, you have to be very careful. In some other, later on, it comes as Lakshmi. Here it's be Alakshmi. Prapadye Alakshmi Nashyatam Tvam Vrine. So Alakshmi means what? All Amangalam. All those things which are actually not good for me may be destroyed. Nashyatam. So when people chant, I find that they chant as Prapadye Lakshmi. They chant like this. But it's not Prapadye Lakshmi, Prapadye Alakshmi Nashyatam Tvam Vrine. So Chandram, first letter, Chandram. Again, so what you can do, you can actually write Lakshmi is equal to all the attributes. You can give, So Chandram is of the nature of Chandraha. So Chandram Prabhasaha. See, Prabhasa means what? Bhasayati means shine. So Prabhasa means the one which is always shining or more shining than anybody else. So Prabhasam. So Prabha also means light, and Bhasaha means light which illumines. It's called Prabha, Prabhasam. So Chandram, Prabhasam. So Chandra also, the moonlight also illumines. Right? It illumines the earth. And what? Chandram, Prabhasam, Yashasa. So Yashas means what? Through one's own capacity. Yashas means one's own capability. She illumines. So here Lakshmi is talked about as Chandraha, who is the nature of cool or giving coolness, Anandaha. See, moonlight will never be very difficult. Sunlight can be very problematic for you because you can get scorched, you can feel hot, but nobody hates moonlight, correct? Moonlight, a lot of things happen. So moonlight is supposed to be the most favorable because it is very cool and it is very pleasant to look also. You can look at the moon with direct eyes. You don't need anything special because it is not that brilliant as the sun. But here, the Lakshmi is also compared to as moon because the Surya and Chandraha are the two netra of the Bhagavan. So Suryasya Chandrasya. So Suryan and Chandran belongs to the Bhagavan. Both are the eyes of the Bhagavan. So that's why he called it Chandraha. Chandram Prabhasam. So the one who is of the nature of shining. So Prabhasa means Sarvasya Lokasya Prakashakam iti Prabhasam. So Sarvasya Lokasya means not only this loka, all the lokas, the one who is effulgent, The one who is shining is called Prabhasam. Then Yashasa. Yashas means fame, or the one who is famous. Yashas. See, Yashasa here, in the Bhashyam, it is given as Devasya Sarveshwarasya Sah Dharmacharittvena Sarvaloka Viditena Gunavat Saubhagyena Iti Yashasa. That means what? Sarva Devasya Sarveshwarasya Sah Dharma Charitvena. See, Sah Dharmachari means what? One who is the consort of Vishnu is Sah Dharmachari, Sah Dharmacharini. And Sarva Loka Vidhi in the one who is responsible or is governing the entire universe through the Shakti, Icha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, and Jnana Shakti. All the Shaktis are present in this Lakshmi. So because of that, she is able to govern. So the word Yashas includes Devasya Sarveshwarasya Sahadharma Charitvena Sarvaloka Viditena Gunavat Saubhagyena. So Gunavat means what? The one who is older of all gunas. Sattva guna, Raja guna, all gunas. Saubhagyam. So again, Saubhagyam means what? Mangalam. One who is supposed to be auspicious. Saubhagyena Yashasa. So that's the word for Yashas. So a simple word you can say Yashas is fame, or the one who is famous in all the lokas. For the people who are interested in Sanskrit or the Bhashyam, for them I can give you Devasya Sarveshwarasya Sahadharma Charitvena Sarva Loka Viditena Gunavat Saubhagyena Iti Yashasa. All of them are defining one word called Yashasa. Then Jwalantim. So Jwalanti means what? See, Jwalaha means the spark. So the one who is of the nature of the spark, which is, if you look at the lamp also, see when you light the lamp in the morning, you see the flame, right? And you see the flame only, you see it, but actually the flame itself is not one flame. It is made of many, many small, tiny sparks which actually bring together one flame. So the flame itself, when you light the lamp in the morning, you see a steady light coming there, correct? But the light itself is actually not one light. It is made of several small particles, small, parts of the light, which is called here Jwalantim. So Jwalantim in Jwalaha means the one which is intermittent light, that which flickers. You will see that. So Jwalantim. Shriyam Loke. So this Shriyam or this Devi is Devam Jushtam Udaram. So Devam means what? The Devas. So this Devi, who is of the nature of brilliance, who is shining the entire lokas, who is of the nature of Chandraha, Prabhasaha, self-shining, Yashasaha, Jwalantim. She is the one who is Devalokaha Jushtaha. So Devalokaha means what? Even the Devaloka also, she is the one who is illuminating all the Devas. So all the Devas who are present also is illuminated by this Lakshmi. Not only in this loka, all the lokas. So Jwalantim Deva Loke Deva Jushtam means Jushtaha we saw before, right? The one who is of nature of worshipping, Jushtam. So the Devas are also worshipping this Mahalakshmi. So Deva Jushtam Udharam. See, Udaram means what? Udaraha means here not the stomach. Udhara means here the compassionate, or the one who is of the nature of kindness. Udharam. So Udharam here given the Bhashyam here, Suradibhyaha Sarva Kama Varshini means 40 Suras. Asura and Suras, there are two things. Sura means Devas. Asuras are the people who are the bad people. So she is the one who is illumining the Devaloka and the one who is worshipped by Devas. So Devam Jushta Mudharam. So this Lakshmi is further elaborated as the one who is of the nature of Chandram, Chandravadanam, Prabhasam, the one who is self-brilliant, self-effulgent, Yashasam, very famous, or the one who is of the nature of happiness, you can give this. Jwalantin, the one who is the spark of the entire Lokaha. So that Shriyam, that Shrihi is Loke Deva Jushtam Udharam. So Deva Lokaha Jushtam Udharam. So the one who is the symbol of kindness or the epitome of kindness, compassion, and the one who is worshipped by Devas is called Shriya. Got it? Okay. So we'll continue this from next class. We have completed up to Chandram, Prabhasam, Yashasa, Jwalanti, Shriyam, Loke, Devam, Jushta, Mudaram. Is this clear so far? Have you understood so far? Okay. Nobody is saying anything. That means understood. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Srikanji, you are able to follow, right? Is that okay?
Yes, sir. Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Radhaji, you are able to follow? You are okay?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. You know Sanskrit, right?
A little bit, sir.
Okay, so you are able to follow, right? Because I'm
Yeah.
talking in Sanskrit, reading something there. It is not in the textbook.
Yes, sir.
So, because the Bhashyam has got crisscrossing here and there, I don't want to complicate you. I'm just reading only relevant sections of the Bhashyam, relevant where I want to give information to you.
Oh, okay, sir.
So that's why whenever this Yashasam, I gave you the extra meaning so that you can write down extra things.
Oh, thanks.
Geeta ji, you are able to follow?
Yes, Ji. Actually, Jwalantim அப்படிங்கிறது ஜொலிக்கிறதுன்னு சொல்லாமா?
ஆமா, correct. See, ஜொலிக்கிறது, see, ஜுவாலஹா when say, see, ஜுவாலை வந்து தர்மா வந்து தனியா இருக்காது. ஜுவாலை வந்து தனியா தான் வரும், கரெக்ட்டா? ஜுவாலைகள்லாம் சேர்ந்து தான் ஒரு ஒளி மாதிரி வரும், கரெக்ட்டா? See,
So, அப்ப blazing சொல்லாமா? Like blazing.
blazing அப்படி சொல்லக்கூடாது. blazingல எதுமா அது வந்து spark.
Okay.
Spark clear. See, குட்டி spark இருக்கும். All the sparks, they become, the whole the flame. So the flame நீங்க பார்த்தா வெச்சுக்கோங்க, நீங்க காத்துல ஏத்தல தீபம் ஏத்துற இல்லையா, தீபம் ஏத்துற லைட் இருக்கு இல்லையா, அந்த லைட் வந்து ஒரு லைட் கிடையாது. That light itself is made of many sparks, different sparks that you cannot see, but it is proven in science that there are millions of small rays which constitute that light.
Okay.
See, sun also is not one sun. Sun itself is one sun, but the number of rays are many. All the rays are so tight together that it gives you the light as one sun.
Yeah, it looks like one.
Correct? Surya Oli சொல்லுவாங்க, சூரியன் and ஒளி, கரெக்ட்டா? சூரியன்ங்கிறது பேர். ஒளினா the light, the rays of the sun is called Surya. Them are here also Jwalanti, say here, that who is of the nature of this very different lights, sparkling light, and that also is called Prabhasa.
Okay.
You got it?
Yes. Yes.
So we'll stop the class here. Tomorrow there's no class because we are planning to start the Upanishad tomorrow, but we'll start next week. Katha Upanishad. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Namaste. Shubhratri to all of you. Hari Om.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.